Would you submit yourself to a parenting performance appraisal? Today on the Happy Families podcast, we talk about how we put ourselves through that, what the results were, and how it could benefit your family. Stay with us. G'day, welcome to the Happy Families podcast, where you get real parenting solutions every single day. This is Australia's most downloaded parenting podcast. We're so glad to have you along. We're Justin and Kylie Coulson. We're the parents of 6 kids. Kylie, parenting performance appraisals, it's not something that we relish, and yet they've made a bigger impact in our family and in our home than many other things we've tried.
It's been a long time since we've actually done one as formally as our first couple were. Regular check-ins with our kids is a really important part of building relationships with them. But this goes back many years to your very first book.
Yeah.
You'd written a book called What Your Child Needs from You.
Which I still sell, and people still tell me how much it's helped their families. It's just wonderful. I think I wrote it like in 2012.
Well, I kind of joke with you. It's my favourite book because it is your shortest one.
Yeah, that's right.
So for the time-poor parent, it's perfect.
Yeah.
A couple of nights of
you can read the whole thing in 2 hours. It's amazing. Yeah,
it's done.
Become a better parent that fast.
But when I first read it, I was really taken by this idea that you had shared in there of thinking about some questions with your child in mind and kind of answering them as though you were your child.
Yeah, literally. Like I said, imagine that you're your child. What would your child say if you asked them these questions?
So knowing that I am probably my worst critic and I'm going to give myself a pretty harsh rap at the other end, I didn't really want to imagine what they might say. I was really curious as to what they would actually say and how they would actually feel. And so over the next few days, as I mulled over the idea of asking the kids, I conjured up all of these possibilities, all these ways that I might get an answer from them, knowing that they probably wouldn't tell me. But the idea of putting myself on the line in front of any number of my friends and getting them to ask them questions scared the living daylights out of me.
Talk about it. It's almost as bad as going on parental guidance. Let's just tell everyone. Let the kids.
A couple of my friends were psychologists, so I knew that they would be able to do it and do a good job. But I was like, no. I don't want them to know everything about me, all the bad stuff.
Dirty laundry, here we go.
So after a few days, I thought, you know what? I'm just going to ask them. And that's how the parenting appraisal began.
Yep.
Like I literally said to you, I'm going to do some PPIs, some personal parenting interviews with our kids, and I'm going to ask them these questions. And you looked at me like I was the weirdest person in the whole wide world, but you did such an awesome job keeping them entertained in the lounge room while I took one by one each of our children and I asked them the 10 questions that you've got in your book. And can I tell you that was literally one of the highlights of our parenting experience with each of these kids.
It was also a low light at the same time. Like, but through hard things, like through tough things, you become better, right?
Well, I know you're saying it's a low light. There was some really
they said some
sucker
things
punches to the gut
that really hurt.
That they said. But what was so amazing about it was, number one, they didn't hold back. So there was this affirmation for me that they felt safe enough that they could share that sucker punch to the heart.
Yeah, there's something about a parent sitting down with a child and saying, hey, I really want to get your opinion and I'm even going to write down your answers. Kids take that really seriously. Like they tell you what they're thinking. It's beautiful.
Yeah, but secondly, it was the gateway to recognizing what was most important to them for me as a parent. And the things that I thought were important weren't necessarily the most important things. And through that process, I got to actually see inside my children's hearts and recognize in some cases I was doing an awesome job, and there were a couple of areas that were not good at all. And it was the wake-up call I needed to make changes that would support them in their growth.
Well, after the break, we're going to unpack what those questions are so that you, if you are so inclined, can do your very own parenting performance appraisal with your kids. Stay with us. That's next. We're back. It's the Happy Families podcast. If you're enjoying the pod, please share it with your friends, neighbours, other parents, mums in your mum's group, dads in your dad's group, whoever, wherever, because every time you share the podcast, it helps other families to be happier. Kylie, I've got the list because I still have the book. People still buy the book. Should we step through it, each of these questions, and you can share any insights that you have here. The first question, my parents support me. So again, we're supposed to take a moment and pretend that we are our child and work out whether or not our child, as us, is going to say yes or no. Would they agree with the statements?
As a parent, we'd love to think that we're supporting our kids.
Yeah, totally. It's like, of course I'm supporting you. Like,
you
do you
go
have
to work
a roof over your head?
every day. That's exactly right. You're bringing home the money so that they can have a roof over their head. They have food on the table. They have clothing and a whole list of wants on top of all of their needs. But do they see that as support?
And the critical thing is, it's not actually about what you think. It's about what they think.
That's right.
Their perception becomes their reality. It's the story that they tell themselves based on their experience. So questionnaire item number 1, my parents support me. Would your child say yes or no? It's worth asking them. Here's question 2. My parents console me when I'm upset.
Is it a suck it up, princess? Come on, let's get on with things. Or is it a cuddle and just an acknowledgement? That was really hard.
The third one, my parents show they care about me. I think this one's really interesting because there are so many things that we do, and often our children don't think that we care. They think that we're riding them. They think that we're on their back. They think that we're constantly pressuring them, and yet we do so much of what we do because we care about them, but they often don't perceive it like that.
Even when they come home late and we kind of berate them, it's a signal of the fear that we've been experiencing while we've been waiting for them. And in essence, for us, this is because I care, but they don't see it that way.
Here's the next one. My parents show a genuine interest in me. I struggle with this one because if I'm looking at my phone, if I'm responding to an email, if I'm in a conversation with you and they want my attention, where's the line? How often am I looking at my daughter and looking at our daughter and saying, I'm really interested? Or what about when they're telling you something and they're about 10 sentences in and you've realized that your eyes have glazed over, your head is elsewhere. You're just thinking, this is the most boring, pointless story I've ever heard in my life. And I've got 53 other things that I've got on my mind. Like, my parents show a genuine interest in me. Oh my goodness. How hard is that?
I was just thinking about the conversation we had the other night with one of our daughters.
Oh, so you weren't listening to me. You were thinking about other things. Right. Thank you very much. I don't feel cared for.
She's at a massive transition point in her life and she's trying to work out what next steps are. And for about 15 minutes, I think she flitted through about 17 possible
Oh my goodness.
pathways
this was the most annoying conversation I've had in months. Like we're
trying so hard to be supportive, and
she's like, maybe I should just go and become a scuba diving instructor. And I'm like, great.
Okay.
Go and become one.
And she said, oh, but actually, I don't like deep water.
Don't like being in open ocean either. And I'm like, what? Like, you're just talking rubbish. So my parents show a genuine interest in me. Sometimes they make it hard.
No, so what was crazy is that was a very frustrating conversation.
Yeah.
She got to the end of it and she actually came to me and she said, Mum, thanks so much for listening to me and just letting me talk it through.
She didn't say that to me.
She said, I feel like I've just got so much more clarity now. And we felt frustrated by the conversation.
Oh, my goodness.
But she felt heard and it gave her an opportunity to bounce ideas off of somebody.
Yeah, she had to work it through. Here's the next one. My parents remember things that are important to me. You don't have to say anything. The intake of breath was enough. Take a moment and pretend that you're your child. Would your child agree with those statements about you? This one is actually one of my favorites. My parents are available to talk at any time. And it's one of my favorites because it still happens now, but it used to happen a lot more 10, 15 years ago. When we had a younger family and we had our first teenagers, they would come into the bedroom somewhere between 8:30 and 9:30 at night because they just want to sit on the edge of the bed and talk to us. And there comes a time where the children go to bed after you, especially like us. We get up at like 4:30, or well, with one of the kids now, we're getting up at 3:30 to take her to work because that's the role of a parent. That's what you do. And I would just be wanting to go to sleep because I've got to get up in 6.5 hours so I can go on my 100-kilometer bike ride or something silly like that. And you'd be like, Justin, you're a parenting expert. And you would literally, because we had this book on our bookshelf, you would point at the question or the questionnaire item and say, my parents are available to talk at any time. And I'd be like, ugh. But it was always worth it. Every single time. The next one, my parents ask questions in a caring manner.
Ouch.
My parents spend extra time with me just because they want to. My parents are willing to talk about my troubles. My parents talk with me about my interests. My parents value my input. And the last question, my parents make me feel wanted.
If you're willing to sit in that place, I'm going to say it's not going to be comfortable. You get a beautiful, intimate view into the way your child views you and the things that you're doing. And there is a bit of sweetness to it because there are going to be some things you are nailing and they're going to let you know that. And there are going to be places where you're getting it wrong.
And they're going to let you know that.
And they're going to let you know that too.
Yeah.
But if you go in with a desire to connect deeply with your child, then it doesn't need to be a berating. They're not going to berate you. They're just going to acknowledge that sometimes, like I still remember literally that first time. And I remember one of our girls saying to me when I asked her the question, did she know that I was available to talk to her at any time? She said, yeah, I do. She said, but if daddy's on his phone or you're at the sewing machine, I know that you're saying you're listening to me, but you're not really. I'm not the most important thing in the room. And I remember that just like cutting me to the very core. But it was just this beautiful gift. She gave me a gift. So if you can see your children's sharing as a gift because they desperately want to connect. That is their ultimate. They want to connect and they're giving you another opportunity to get it right. Then the experience will be richer.
We will share all of those questionnaire items in our show notes. We really hope that this has been an inspiring, helpful and, well, maybe considered conversation that can change the way you're doing things in your family. Thank you so much for listening. The Happy Families podcast is produced by Justin Rulon from Bridge Media. Mim Hammonds provides our admin and other support. And if you would like more info to make your family happier, you can grab a copy of What Your Child Needs from You, Creating a Connected Family, online, wherever you buy your books. And check out Boys, Building Strong Young Men from the Inside Out. Pre-order now. Get 27% off at booktopia.com.au. We'll be back tomorrow with more on the Happy Families podcast.